Good morning, beautiful people. Happy to join you on this beautiful Saturday. Well, it's Saturday for me right now. I don't know which date it is for y'all right now, but it's Saturday right now. Just got up probably like 30 minutes ago. Gonna make some pancakes. Gonna walk you guys through that. Last night was watching the Penguin. Amazing show. Listen, I'm a big Batman fan, so if you want an amazing show to start watching, I highly suggest the Penguin. It's on HBO. HBO makes the most fire shows. You already know that, but been loving the Penguin. Although I fell asleep towards the end of the second episode because I was watching like back to back, and I was just like, me and Ash is just as bad just watching it, and then like after a while I'm just like I was trying to keep up, but I just knocked out. So I'm gonna rewatch the second episode today just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, beyond that, how's my mood? My mood is pretty awesome this morning. Woke up feeling lovely. I hope you are taking the moment to check in with yourself. Please leave that in the comments. And what's on the menu today? Honestly, nothing planned today. Honestly, nothing really planned today. Yeah, nothing really planned today. It's a Saturday, so I'm just gonna be really taking it relax, honestly, and probably go through some more footage that I've been collecting and doing, and let's see how that goes, right? Cool. Skin is so immaculate.
Yeah.
It's
The sun
so
is really doing its thing right now.
yeah. Yo, it's so crazy. Like I was going on a rabbit hole on YouTube and seeing like all these dope content creators and stuff like that. And it's so insane. There's like little kids, like 20 years old. They can't even. They're like 20, 19. Whatever, and they all and some of them have like these channels where like they're either starting up a brand, a clothing brand or whatever, or they have or they have their own business, and they're generating like millions of dollars, 100,000, whatever the case may be. And these are like young kids, and they're like basically breaking down their frameworks and stuff like that, and it's so crazy. Like just seeing that aspect of like YouTube, of like young kids just going on these platforms and just showcasing their like their process and all of that. And I was like, damn, when I was that age, I wasn't doing none of that.
I know, but they have so many more influences examples of people doing things online. Like they have so, like when we were growing up, we didn't have so many different examples of like ways you can make money or make a career. It was very traditional careers, you know. And now like kids growing up, they see, oh, you can make money just posting stuff online. You can make money, you can start your own business, you can do so many things.
Like it's so dope. Like there was even this one dude I found. I'm gonna actually shout him out in the description. But he kind of reminds me of like a young Steve Bartlett.
Oh yeah.
Kind of. I don't know. He
does interviews.
He doesn't do interviews, but he was just basically talking about like his mindset routines. You know, these
1 second.
These 2-minute short videos of like, you know, like, oh, this is how I wake up in the morning and make sure that I stay productive. This is what I do throughout the day to make sure that I stay creative. And there's these short clips like that. And I'm like, and the kid can't be more than like 20, 19 or something like that, you know?
That's good. That's
so
cool.
it's so dope seeing that. So like, yeah, I was falling in this rabbit hole and just really discovering that world, right? And it's so cool and refreshing to see like young people just taking control of their world, their destiny, I should say, and just going out here and making their own rules. It's pretty inspiring to see, you know?
Yeah.
So even someone like me, I could get inspired by that,
yeah.
You know? Inspiration has no age.
For sure. There's like a content creator YouTube renaissance happening. Because I remember when YouTube first started, and like we were like some of the first users of YouTube.
Can you believe that?
We made history. We're the first users of YouTube and all these like social media platforms. But it's like there was such a boom of things going viral and creators and stuff like that, and I don't know, it seems like there's a new wave of interest in YouTube as a platform.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go. What kind of spices I use? This right here. This is amazing. If you love Indian food, you will love this. This right here. No, we're good. Yo, babe, you ready?
Yeah, I was just looking at like they have maca powder and ashwagandha and all these like powders.
Cool.
So you just went to Punjab. This is where you get all the best spices. Jamaican, Indian, Trinidadian food. Just got some patties, some veggie patties. Oh, can I have a bite? No, wait, do I like that one? I don't know if I like that one.
The pepper is warm.
Oh, it's pretty good. Some cocoa bread, coconut cookies. Very good.
That's so good. I know it's become hungry.
This should be good.
Yeah, it should be good. We just spent like almost like 30 minutes trying to set up this camera real quick. You got it right?
I mean, yeah. I think so.
Oh no, so yeah, what we wanted to talk about. I kind of actually wanted to change up the format real quick because me and Ash had a very interesting conversation.
Sorry. I'm thirsty. I need to get some water.
Oh my God, go ahead. I got water.
I'm sorry. Alright.
You got your water? You're all good?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, yeah. Since you interrupted me, I lost my train of thoughts. Yeah, basically, I want to kind of change up the format a bit. The other day, me and Ash was having a very interesting conversation because we were going down a YouTube rabbit hole, trying to really understand how YouTube really works and, the type of videos that are out there overall. And the ones that, I don't know why, but I searched up like living with my girlfriend. And if you go on the thumbnail, put a little description that you can see right here, how it looks like. If you search up living with my girlfriend, the first couple videos, they're kind of in a very negative tone. And then if you compare it to living with my boyfriend, it's a whole different ball game, right? And probably just because of how my YouTube channel is kind of curated, and it just kind of just curate the content in that manner. But it just had me thinking, is like, it would be cool if people kind of understand how it is to really be living with your significant other, girlfriend / boyfriend. In our case, me living with you. Mm-hmm. And what's very interesting about our dynamic is that Ash is not only my girlfriend. I hate using the term girlfriend because we've been together for so long, but that's a whole different conversation. But you're also my business partner as well. And I think it'd be cool to kind of just get an insight of like what it is to kind of be living with your significant other who's also your business partner, which I think is the best thing ever, if I'm being totally honest. Like, it's the best thing. If you have the opportunity to be living with someone who's your significant other, aka your girlfriend, and who's also your business partner, I think it is the best thing, because that person not only understands you on a very emotional level, but they understand you in terms of how your lifestyle is as an entrepreneur, I should say. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, so you kind of glossed over it quickly, but like going back to the search that you did, what was really interesting. So the ones that were living with my girlfriend obviously were videos created by men, and they were all super negative. It was all like, why living with your girlfriend is the worst thing ever. Don't live with your girlfriend because XYZ reasons. Like super woman hating type of videos. And like, clearly that's why you're single and making these lame ass videos. And then you look at the, when you searched living with my boyfriend, it was obviously all videos created by women who are just showing the day in a life with their boyfriend, and it's all like super lovey-dovey, like no negative connotation at all. So that was super interesting to see, like just the difference in mentality.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
but
it's so weird.
But just to kind of give a little bit of context, like all the videos that had living with my girlfriend, the top ones were like mostly like, say negative, quote unquote. But there were a few ones that I saw that like were like more in a positive tone. But you had to look. But yeah, it's basically night and day, and I feel like there's this narrative that shows that, I think more towards like men, like it's a bad thing to live with your girlfriend or to move in with a woman or whatever the case may be. Obviously, there's context behind it, because you want to make sure that it is the right person that you're going to be committed to, and you're going to be doing that, because for us it was a big thing, right? We didn't really just,
well, I mean, when we first moved in together, we did it very spontaneously, but it was also because
but we've been together for some time before doing that.
We were already together for a little bit, and we were already working together, so it was just like so much easier to live together because we were running our business together, versus us always having to meet up and like super annoying. Or I was spending so much time at your place, and at the time I was living with my mom, and I was never home, you know, so it like it didn't make any sense. It was like we were already living together anyway, so might as well just get our own place.
Yeah, and I think what made the transition a lot easier was the fact that we had a common goal. We were both artists. We were both we wanted to be independent. We both had dreams. We both had ambition, and we wanted to help each other to achieve that, right? And I think when it comes to making a decision in terms of if you're gonna move in with someone or live with someone, I think having a clear conversation in terms of, or like a clear idea that like, okay, we're on the same goal in terms of where we want to go, what we're trying to do, and we both want to help each other achieve that. I think having that very clear and open with which we did, it made it very like a natural process for us to just be like, yo, let's jump into this and like we'll figure it out together.
Yeah, and I think there was definitely a period that we needed to adjust a little bit because we were I mean, we were together for a little bit, but it was still like fairly new, our relationship at that time compared to now. So we still had to learn about each other, and there was maybe some clash and expectations and stuff like that because we were still figuring each other out and adapting and adjusting to each other's unique personalities. So I don't know, we didn't watch the videos, the negative videos, so I don't know what they actually said, but I
just inspired our talk right now.
But I find it so ironic that like the male driven videos were negative and the female ones were positive, because statistically they say that women's lives, the quality of a woman's life decreases when she marries a man, and the quality of life of a man increases when he is married to a woman.
So what, you saying that your life decreases because you're...
No, but I find that so strange that the videos they're making are saying the opposite, or they're claiming the opposite, you know, when like statistically it's the inverse.
Yeah.
So I find that so strange. Like I was like, that's so weird that the videos, the men are claiming that their lives got worse from moving in with their girlfriend, and the women have this super positive outlook on their relationships. I found that so interesting.
Yeah, like, and I think the reason why I look at it kind of differently is because I guess, like I said, we had goals. We knew what we wanted. We had a plan in terms of how we wanted to achieve that, and we were on the same page. And like you said, at times there was clash because how I am at home in terms of like, I don't know, like something as small as like, yo, making up the bed in the morning, to me that's very important, or stuff like that. So there's like little things, little adjustments that's like, okay, well, you live a different way, I live a different way, and it's, we have our little bickerings based on those little things, but that's normal, right?
Yeah.
But like in the grand scheme of things, I think we were just on the same page. And I think one of the best things about living with someone is just that the learning process, because there's a lot about myself that I did not know because I started living with you, right? Like, I guess something in terms of like, emotional intelligence, for example. I'm not someone who expressed himself and who was very closed off and who was very guarded, but being around you, understanding those stuff about myself. And I think we kind of neglect that aspect in terms of being in a relationship with someone or living with someone, is that you get to learn about yourself as well. And there's that period of growth that comes from that. Yeah,
so I'm curious, maybe we should go and watch those videos after, because I'm curious if the people who made those videos were in long-term relationships and actually gave themselves a chance to get over that learning curve and that hump of adjustment. Because maybe it's like, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever because we're having a hard time adjusting to each other. But when you give it a chance and give yourselves time to adapt and adjust and compromise and all the things that you're supposed to do in a relationship, maybe like that gets better over time. And now we've created our own world. We've created our own little safe haven, our own world. We have our own rules that were created based on like our own personalities, and we have a system, not that it's like a rule book that we wrote down, but because we kind of learned each other's habits, now it's just easier to live with each other because we know, I know how you are, you know how I am. Like, I might be a little bit more messy sometimes, and you'll pick up after me, and vice versa. Like, there's just like different little things that it's like it balances out after a while. But if you go into it being very stubborn and being like, no, this is how I am, I'm not compromising for anything or anyone, then it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be hard to adapt because you're not being flexible, you're not being adaptable.
Yeah, and a added layer of complexity in our situation is that we run a business together. So there is a part of our life that is like, okay, I would say business mode, and there's this other aspect where it is like relationship mode, you know. So there is that level of I say complexity that goes into it. So like, for example, if we have a disagreement and an argument or whatever the case may be, we can't bring that into our business. It just doesn't make sense. Like, we're not going to have a call with a client or go to a business meeting or do a conference and it's like, okay, well, I hate you or whatever the case may be. It doesn't make sense. But I think the fact that we run a business together, there's more of a willingness to kind of like, okay, like, if we have a situation, like, let's talk about it because it affects everything, you know, not just our personal life, but also outside of our personal life. So I want to say, like, you could kind of say it's like a pressure, because running a business is like having a kid, right? Like, it's our baby in a certain aspect. So you want to also do good for this thing that you're creating that also benefit other people. So you want to make sure that, like, okay, like, we're on the same page when it comes to, if we have a disagreement or anything of that nature, let's try our best to work around it and figure out ways around that. But which is also cool about the fact that, you know, us being in a relationship and running a business, we know our strengths and weaknesses like so easily, you know. So if we're in a situation and I could tell Ash is not feeling it, I know how to jump in and just kind of like, okay, mitigate the situation, and her too, vice versa. So like these little tips and tricks, like, you know, like we understand each other because not just because the fact that we're business partners, but that comes from the fact that, like, we know each other on a very personal level too. So I could tell when your energies are off, I could tell when you're not feeling it, and I could make certain decisions, and you too, vice versa. You can make certain decisions very quickly because I'm like, okay, you're not feeling it. Okay, no, this doesn't make sense for you. So we work well as like a very strong unit. So in other ways, I find our relationship strengthens our business, if I'm being very honest.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that we're in business together also strengthens the relationship too, like you said, because we are not forced, but when we get into situations or disagreements, we do have to learn to detach from those emotions and take a step back. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Sometimes it's like we're totally distracted and like we need to really take a break before getting into the work that we're doing. But that doesn't happen very, very often. Most of the time what will happen is we just learn to separate the business and the personal emotions. So let's say like we might not be on the best of terms. When we're in work mode, we're still going to collaborate and function as we normally would. We're not going to be like super petty and passive aggressive and bring that into the work that we're doing. And it gives us a little bit of a break to, I think it's good that we get sometimes, it gives us that space and that recul, I don't know how to say, like that distance, that perspective, so to have a different perspective on the situation. And then when you come back to it, you're kind of more level-headed and can have the conversations that need to be had. And it helps in that way.
And what do you think is like the biggest challenge of living with your significant other? Like, if we could each answer from our own perspective. What's I think the biggest challenge about living with your girl? Biggest challenge I could say is biggest challenge.
It's just so easy with me, like
Nah,
challenges.
I'm trying to go through all the challenges I had.
Wow.
I'm playing. Nah, like I
pick out of the long list of challenges.
I think the biggest challenge is to I think from my from me personally, it's communicating, it's learning how to communicate with you. I think the biggest challenge is to understand our different communication skills. We both receive each other's information differently. And I guess that ties in a bit in like our love language and things of that nature. I think it's understanding that like if I'm in my zone, if I'm not feeling well or whatever the case may be, or like if I'm moody, for example, right? If I'm moody, like I need distance, I need space, but I don't know how to communicate that, right? Mm-hmm. And that could cause issues with you because you're like, okay, like I'm trying to talk to you and see what's going on, but I just want space, but I don't know how to communicate that. So it's kind of understanding how to communicate when I'm not feeling good or I'm not 100%, and so you know how to approach the situation, if that makes sense. I think that was the biggest challenge for me personally, because like I said, I don't like to communicate as much, and if I'm in a bad mood or a bad day or if I'm sad or whatever, I would just hold that in and I'm just like whatever, and you're just kind of like you're kind of outside and you're kind of
in
like
the dark.
And you're like, what the hell is going on? What's going on? And that would turn into something else. And then when we finally get to the understanding that like, oh, okay, well, I understand you're not in a good mood, but you need to know that I'm not in a good mood. So it's just kind of understanding how that thing works, you know?
I think that was something where like earlier on, now I think I understand that more. Like it's.
Say what was the biggest challenge?
Was
yeah.
Okay. In the
Not
past.
is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, because I'm like that's yesterday's news. Like, we're over that.
You know, for sure.
What was the biggest challenge for me? I think it's similar to what you said, but it's getting used to how you are. That's such a weird thing to say, but it's like getting used to the fact that you're someone who's very introverted, even in the relationship. Like learning how to read you, I would say. Learning how to read you. Now I read you super, super well. I understand
it kind of gets annoying sometimes.
Very well. There's certain things that he does, or the ways that you react to situations, or just like you're very sensitive to you. energy, or you get like overwhelmed very easily, and then you react in a certain way that might, from the outside looking in, be perceived as rude or perceived in a certain way. But and so when we were getting to know each other, for me, I was like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Like, why is he reacting this way? But over time, now I understand how you are, and I understand your needs. I understand when you need, like, I don't take things personally anymore.
Yeah.
I think before I used to take things very personally when you would be very closed off and in your shell and in your bubble, not understanding that it was you going through your own mental things in your head, but it comes off as like you have a problem with me. That's how it came off and how I would misinterpret it. But now with time, and now that we've learned to kind of express ourselves better and communicate better, and now we understand each other and we get each other, so I don't take it personally, and I'm not so focused on you. I'm like, okay, he's in his vibe, I'm just gonna do me now. You know? So, and I think that's so much more healthy, and I'm so much more happy. I'm so much happier understanding you, and like knowing that it has nothing to do with me. Like I can just I don't have to feel bad or feel like, oh my god, what did I do? But like I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna give him his space and let him figure himself out. And you always come around and you end up coming and explaining what's going on because I gave you that space.
But you see, that's super dope, you know, and it kind of comes back full circle, where it's like living with your significant other, it can help bring out, like, it can help you learn about things about yourself. So like,
imagine if we had the mentality of people who it's like, oh, as soon as I see 1 or 2 red flags, I'm out. We would have never learned about each other. We would have never come to this point where...
And we probably would not even learn about ourselves.
Yes, about ourselves. So much about myself as well. About like, oh, I'm too focused on the person I'm in a relationship with. I need to focus on myself and making myself happy. Like, why am I putting all my happiness in how your moods are? Like, you know, like, that's not healthy either.
Or I'm just I'm keeping all these emotions built up, and keeping built up emotions, like, yo, that causes like high blood pressure, that could cause heart attack. It has a lot of physical manifestations on your body. You know, we could go into that, but like, and now like I'm at a stage where it's like I'm kind of conscious of my emotions, and that's why it's like, even I'm starting this channel where I'm just kind of talking through my feelings and how I'm experiencing things. So, you know, thank you for that.
That's really good. I'm very proud of you for that.
Oh, thank you for that, babe. You know, so we want to just kind of get on here, like, once in a while we're gonna come on here and just kind of just share our thoughts on specific topics that we just found that was very interesting. If you're interested in anything else, like, leave your suggestions in the comment. We'd love to hear that. Or at the same time, you know, like I said, it is Saturday. It's a beautiful day. We're about to just relax for the rest of the day. You know, probably watch some movies. Like, yo, we have some movie marathons we want to do, because there's a new Alien movie that came out, but we want to watch, like, do a marathon of like all the Alien movies.
I want to watch the new Joker movie, even though it has terrible reviews, because
I don't want to waste my time.
I love watching movies that suck, because it's like comedy. It's like comedy.
Did you enjoy The Matrix 4?
Oh my god. That was so
The Matrix
disappointing!
The Matrix is her favorite movie of all time. So like, when she saw the fourth one,
that does not exist to me. That does not exist to me. What I don't understand is, like, I'll see people super big fans of The Matrix, like way bigger fans than me, and they'll just blindly be like, oh, but defending the fourth one, defending Resurrections, and it's like, why are you such a sheep? Like, it's okay to not like one of the movies. Like, what's wrong with you? Anyway. So
that's basically what's on our menu. But like, also, if you haven't, please check in with yourself. Remember to take a moment throughout the day to just double check in with yourself, know what you're experiencing. You know, the reason why I'm able to do this Thank you, Ash. You know, Ash is one of the reasons why I'm able to start taking a moment with myself and just being like, yo, what am I experiencing right now? Like, what am I going through right now? And I'm sharing this gift all with y'all. So please, if you haven't, do that in the comments. And until next time, peace and love and stay blessed. Miro out.